Okay, we do want to drill down a little bit more on what we were hearing about from Janice, and that was Carney's response to any sort of threat from the U.S. president to take control of Greenland. For more on all of that, let's bring in journalist Kate Fisher. She's tracking all of those developments for us from Washington. We know, of course, we heard the Prime Minister very clearly say that he stands by Greenland when it comes to the sovereignty there of the territory. I'm wondering, inside the United States, what are American lawmakers saying about these threats and the rhetoric coming from the U.S. president?
Well, it's not just Republican lawmakers who seem to be trying to dampen down these tensions, and there are several of them doing that. It's also members of Donald Trump's administration, including U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who's also in Davos. And when he's been asked about this, he's asked people to relax and let things play out when it comes to these tariffs that Donald Trump has threatened on several European allies. But there's also been talk from Mike Johnson, the House Speaker, who's actually been in London today celebrating the 250 years since the US took control away from the British. And he was speaking in Parliament, and he suggested that he wanted to see this crisis not upend that important bilateral relationship with the UK. Let's hear what he had to say.
We've always been able to work through our differences calmly as friends. We will continue to do that. I want to assure you this morning that that is still the case.
Now, there are several Republican lawmakers who've also spoken out, particularly about their fear of this, well, certainly to dampen down any thought of US military action in Greenland. And they include the Senate Majority Leader John Thune and his predecessor Mitch McConnell, all saying that they do not want to see American troops enter Greenland. There's also been a bipartisan congressional delegation visiting the Danish capital Copenhagen this week, including 2 Republican senators, going to try to reassure Danish officials that this plan for military action in Greenland is not supported by the US Congress. There are some Trump supporters in the Republican Party backing him on this, though, including Senator Ted Cruz of Texas, who believes that taking Greenland in any way is the right move.
Kate, that's some political reaction. What about American voters? What do they have to say about all of this?
Well, if you look at the opinion polls, this is not a popular policy from Donald Trump. It's almost universal amongst polls done this week that a majority of people do not want to see the US taking Greenland, and certainly don't want it to be done under military action. A Reuters Ipsos poll said that only, well, less than fewer than 1 in 5 Americans want to see Greenland come under US control, and that includes 8% of Republicans. A CBS poll also found that just 14% would approve the use of military force. Let's listen to what some Americans told us about their thoughts on this.
Why is he so interested in Greenland? He can't take care of America.
He kind of wants the United States to become an empire, so I'm not sure if that is really good for the United States in the long run.
Okay, Greenland. What the hell? What the hell is he doing in Greenland?
I think it's notable on these opinion polls that it is rare to find such high numbers all in agreement on one issue when it comes to policy. And it's also rare to see Republicans disagreeing with President Trump.
Thanks for this, Kate. That's journalist Kate Fisher in Washington.